President Uhuru Kenyatta says Kenya has made great strides in democracy, governance and socio-economic aspects since the inauguration of a constitution in 2010 and his accession to power 4 years ago. The president, who was delivering a report during the Africa Peer Review Mechanism meeting at the sidelines of the 28th African Union Summit, attributed the gains to decentralization of power through devolution and constitutional democracy.
As we go into the next election, the new constitutional order is all but established. The new constitutional order means extensive devolution to the counties, a stronger legal and institutional basis for democracy and good governance, a new emphasis on entrenched Bill of Rights, new respect for the rule of law and due processes, and real redress for historical injustices.
With Kenya making history as the first country to be reviewed twice under APRM, President Kenyatta hailed the Vision 2030, Kenya's development blueprint, as a major milestone in strengthening Kenya's economic policy framework.
Economic policy is now aligned with goals of the 5-year medium-term plans, which are an implementation framework of our Vision 2030 and reflect the government's plans to deliver social economic development. The policies and changes have ushered Kenya's longest period of sustained growth since the 1960s.
According to the president, public participation at all levels of social activities has ensured good governance and transparency.
And here it is fair to say that Kenya has taken significant steps towards promoting broad-based social economic development, and similar accomplishments have been made in the areas of public participation in the social economic development.
The president, however, acknowledged that corruption continues to be the greatest threat to Kenya's prosperity, but expressed his willingness to fight graft and ensure looters are brought to book.
As a country, we have also put in place robust legal and institutional framework to deal with corruption, and we have recovered a sum of Kenya shillings 9.768 billion in the period 2005 to 2016. Currently, there are 434 cases related to corruption and economic crimes being investigated.
Earlier, the president had called for the strengthening of the APRM owing to the overwhelming number of countries intending to join the peer review mechanism. President Kenyatta says Africa continues to rise irrespective of a myriad of challenges it faces every day.
All these positive developments, Excellencies, should energize all of us and strengthen our collective resolve to continue promoting good governance, without which development would be impossible to achieve.
Meanwhile, Kenya continues with its lobbying for the election of Ambassador Amina Mohamed as the African Union Commission chairperson. And while Ambassador Mohamed appears amongst the top contenders, Chad, a Central African country, alongside Botswana, are giving Kenya a good run for its money.
We're saying that we're hoping for the very best and we're going to work very hard at it. Very hopeful, and we're going to work very hard because we believe she is the right candidate, she has the right credentials, she has the right attitude, she is a Pan-Africanist, and her experience, I think, would go a long way towards helping the African Union Commission achieve the new reforms that, as you know, we're going to be discussing as part of this particular summit.
Actually, our focus is basically peace and security, economic development, inclusive growth, addressing the issues of the youth, meeting the infrastructure deficit that we have, and making sure that we have a revolution in infrastructure development, opening up the continent for our people to be able to move freely, and building the capacity that we truly need to take off, because we are at that point where we are just about to take off.
The entry of Morocco into the African Union hours before the election is also being closely monitored by Kenya and observers. The arrival of President Uhuru Kenyatta here in Addis Ababa 2 days before the elections will give impetus to the lobbying by Kenya that is ongoing to ensure Cabinet Secretary Amina Mohamed ascends to the position of African Union Commission chairperson. The lobbying is expected to go late into the night as Kenya seeks to secure that crucial vote from the East African Community members as well as COMESA and any other country in the continent willing to move along with Kenya to ensure CS Amina Mohamed becomes the next AUC chairperson. Reporting from Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, my name is John Jacob Kuria.